course, TD used to be on the Eagles beat, but he's been talking this up all. I think TD made this move, right?
I think he may have.
I think but seriously,
Ryan, I got an idea for you.
Yeah, I mean he was talking about it all last year for sure. So it's interesting. It's a really interesting case with him because, I mean, he's had some injuries, which you don't necessarily like to hear if you're a Titans fan.
No.
But he had a torn biceps, which still sounds like the worst injury ever. Like it sounds just awful. I don't even like saying torn biceps. It just sounds awful. But he basically missed a year of that, but he got beat out, by their starting left tackle, who, of course, I mean, Dillard's a first-round pick. I think this guy was a seventh-round pick, but whatever. I mean, sometimes that happens, It doesn't mean that he, can't play. I think they felt good about him as their swing tackle. Can he be, a starting left tackle for the Titans? Or, like you said, is he moving inside and they're still going to draft the next left tackle? Either way, I mean, this is a pretty big spend. And to me, we just talked yesterday, Ben Jones. Does that signify something? Does that mean, maybe they're just looking at just blowing it all up or whatever? I mean, this move tells me they are trying to fix this thing right now, and see what they can do next season.
Yeah, I mean, Andre Dillard was taken in the 2019 draft. Of course, that draft was here in Nashville. We've talked a lot about the 2019 draft on this show before, but he was 22nd overall. He's played left and right tackle for the Eagles. He's played in 43 games. He's made 9 starts in those 43 games over the past 4 years. And that's the other thing, he has played left and right tackle. There are some that think maybe he'd be better as a guard, but he's played tackle in the NFL. So that kind of tells me that I guess they're looking at tackle. I do wonder, are they wanting him to be the left tackle? Are they wanting him to be the right tackle? And if it is left tackle and that's what they want him to be, does that change the strategy of what they do at 11 overall? Or if, one of those 2 tackles that we've talked a lot about, be that Skoronski or that Paris Johnson Jr., if they're there still at 11 overall, do you go that way if you're the Titans? And then what happens with Dillard at that point? So, I mean, I don't think signing him automatically has to mean that you're not taking a left tackle at number 11 overall. Like, if you feel like that's the best player, then that's what you got to do at that point. But it is interesting to me that they have brought in somebody. Now, it wasn't, we'll see what the official guaranteed money is, but it's not like they went out and signed Orlando Brown Jr. or anything like that. I mean, they've brought in somebody that has been a first-round pick, but also hadn't started a whole lot. 9 of 43 games he's been a starting tackle in this league. So I'm really interested to see how they view him and whether or not they view him as a potential starter for this group.
Yeah, and I think, look, like you said, he hasn't played a ton, so you're going with, obviously you still have enough film on him, but you're going with that, and you're going with word of mouth, and you are going to find out a lot about him in the spring, right? So, at that point, now you've got to make decisions in the draft. I wouldn't be surprised at all if, they still go get like a first round or very high left tackle, on top of this. But you can't
have enough offensive linemen right
now. Well, that's true. Now this does to me at least make it, you talk about best available. I mean, best available is a great way to go. I still think best available need still has to be in the equation, and
right.
So doing this, depending on exactly how they feel, how they project them, maybe now they could go get the receiver at 11. I mean, I think it makes it more possible. Makes it a little bit more flexible there. But again, we don't know exactly how they feel. I'm sure that they have something in mind, but you also probably have to be ready to. Well, actually, he's better inside. We've seen this a lot in recent years with Titans offensive line acquisitions. Either, oh no, Kendall Lamb can't play. Oh no, Jamarco Jones can't play. Or Dylan Radins, let's try him inside. I mean, and then Dylan Radins, maybe he should have been the left tackle all along.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's an interesting deal from the Titans in terms of, obviously you're talking about a former first-round pick that I would say it's fair to say in terms of just his usage has not worked out in Philadelphia the way that they had planned, only having started 9 games in 43 appearances. Now, having said that, you look at some other moves that happened yesterday, particularly one that I think we saw coming, with Nate Davis not re-signing with the Tennessee Titans, and he signs a 3-year, $30 million deal with the Chicago Bears. I mean, that makes it official that we know that Ben Jones is now gone from the Titans. We know that Nate Davis is now gone for the Titans, and Taylor Lewan is gone for the Titans, and they got to figure out what they want to do with Aaron Brewer and all that stuff. But you're going to need a whole lot of new offensive linemen. And, you go out and you get Dillard yesterday, and now you got to look across and say, all right, well, who's our center going to be? Are the two guards going to be? And how do they feel about Nicholas Petit-Frere? Like, could you draft a left tackle, have Dillard be your right tackle, and have Petit-Frere be your swing tackle? Like, could that be the plan that they have? I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there right now because with Davis going yesterday, they still got a few more moves they're going to have to make on the offensive line.
Right, and that's the thing too. I mean, obviously, you want competition. That's the thing. If you bring in a good tackle, then you can let them kind of settle it. Maybe they are better that way. And I mentioned Radins. We never talk about Radins because he hasn't been very good.
Yep.
And also, I doubt he'll be ready for the beginning of the season. But he's also someone who could be a factor inside. I know Kaharski. I know in what he wrote, Kaharski thinks that Brewer is going to be the center. So he may be right. If that's the case, then that's settled. I hear what Corey Kurz is saying. Maybe it's because he has the same name, but I think Corey Levin is okay too.
Yep.
So I don't think you want Brewer at guard again.
I don't either.
At least it's not like they have nobody, but I feel like there's got to be a significant tackle and guard still added.
Ty on the text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, says, I feel like they'll trade back now and snag a guard. And that could happen. Now, again, what you've brought up a lot and what I agree with is give me the reason that somebody is trading up for number 11 overall, right? That's got to happen.
Right. You don't initiate it. I guess you could. Hey!
Anybody want this pick?
Yeah, would you like to trade up to get somebody that I don't know who you want? But come on. It's trading up that gets initiated. We want into this pick. If it happens, sure. But it's hard to make people do that. Now, if Ron Hextall was in the NFL, you'd probably be like, hey, Ron, give us all your picks.
I'd like your entire draft for the number 11 overall pick, please. You did it? Okay, great. All right. Thank you, Ron.
But I think, but in seriousness, I think you can get a guard. Yeah, you can get a guard, like Nate Davis, third-round pick, right? He's a good player.
Yep.
That's an interesting – the Bears are going nuts.
Well, they had a lot of money to spend, and they are certainly doing that.
I wonder what Michelle, the fake Bears fan, thinks.
I guess we'll have to find out. 615-737-1025. We'll get into that coming up next. And another move made yesterday by, at this point, a former Tennessee Titan that was a little mystifying to me. We'll get into that coming up next as well. But first, Joe Rexrode has a word from our friends at FanDuel Sportsbook.
I do. Thank you. Yeah, FanDuel. Well, obviously, folks, this is a big week. It's always a big week at FanDuel Sportsbook, but this is especially a big week, and we know why that is, right? Yes, because it's March, folks. So here's the thing: doesn't matter if you're new or if you have an account already. You can tip off the tourney with a no sweat bet. All you gotta do is sign in to your FanDuel account, claim it today. If you're new, go to FanDuel.com/Joe102, get in on the action. Then you bet everything from money line to point spreads, 5 versus 12 matchup. Duke Oral Roberts? No one? Everybody thinks Duke's going far. We'll see. I'm going to continue to tell you that Kent State's going to beat Indiana. Sincere Carey. I'm going to say his name every time because he's awesome. Do whatever you want on an app that's safe, secure, super easy to use. And remember, no better place to bet the tournament than FanDuel. FanDuel.com/Joe102 or sign in to your account to claim your no sweat bet today. Make every moment more with FanDuel. You must be 21 or older, present in Tennessee. Bonus issued is no withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max bonus bet $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line 800-889-9789.
Want the latest on college football and Nashville sports?
They can be a fully formed model of what they're going to be offensively moving forward.
Join Outkick 360's Chad Withrow every Friday at 5 with Stillman and Company.
You don't know what's going to happen with the roster or the team.
He'll bring opinions and charisma for a full half hour every week.
This is a good lesson about sports and what we think and what actually happens.
Chad Withrow on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota, like the best-selling Toyota Tacoma. with powerful off-road capabilities and the best resale value in its class. Now through April 4th, you can get low